Billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman has been tweeting a lot lately. Like a lot. And they're long tweets, and they're about the war in Israel and Gaza, and they're about diversity, equity, inclusion at universities, and about Claudine Gay, who was the former president of Harvard University, and about the mainstream media. I mean, this is his pinned tweet right now. It is so long. We probably won't even get to the end of it by the time I finish this sentence, and it's all about really like the dishonorability of the mainstream media and an experience he had with the Washington Post. And then last week, Bill made a very interesting announcement. And today on the show, we are talking about that announcement. We are talking about this tweet from Elon Musk that says, "Boobs just rock. It's a fact." And we're talking about why this tweet from Elon and the many tweets from Bill tell you everything you need to know about the economy in 2024. Let's dive into it. Okay. A bit of background, Bill Ackman is an activist investor and a hedge fund manager. His hedge fund is called Pershing Square Capital. He takes money from a lot of different rich people and institutions and whatever, and he uses that money to buy stocks or to short companies to play the market and hopefully make some money. And to do this, he charges fees. So he charges a 2% fee on all of the money he manages. So if I give Bill Ackman my money, he'll charge me 2% just right off the bat for managing that money. And then he charges 20% on any profits that the fund makes. So if he makes us money, then he'll take 20% of whatever money he's made as well. But last week, Bill announced something very interesting, which is that he is launching a publicly traded fund to be traded on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker symbol psus. And this fund is not going to charge any of those 20% performance fees. It is only charging the 2% management fee, and even that it won't charge until after the first year of the fund. A simple explanation for all of this is, Ackman has said, okay, I have historically had this fund, I take money from rich people, I invest their money, but you know what, I want to open it up. And so now I'm going to let regular people, in effect, have their money managed by me. They can buy a share of this new fund, and this fund will invest in the 12 to 24 companies that I think are undervalued, and now they're getting exposure to me, Ackman, as a fund manager. That's the basic idea. Now, there are a couple of ways you could frame this. One framing would be that Bill Ackman is participating in the democratization of finance. The old Robin Hood app argument. We are democratizing finance. Bill Ackman is saying that this was an opportunity that was historically reserved for only the super rich and the well-connected. And now, Joe Schmo, the coffee barista down the street, they can now invest their money with Bill Ackman. Or you might frame this as Bill is tired of sucking up to the rich and the elite, and so he wants your money. He wants that Redditor money. He wants the retail money, the sweet, dumb money. Headlines about this news have largely reflected this latter framing. Articles like Bill Ackman's Pershing Square targets U.S. retail investors in new fund, Ackman launches cheaper hedge fund aimed at wider investor pool, and Matt Levine, one of my favorite writers who got right to the point, saying that Bill Ackman wants your money. And all of these articles would talk about Bill's career up to this point, the fact that he's been an activist investor and what his career has looked like a little bit and what we know publicly about this new fund, the fact that it's going to be investing in probably 12 to 24 companies at any given time. And all of them do mention the vociferous tweeting he has been doing for the last 3 months. And most mention the fact that he was a part of ousting Claudine Gay from Harvard, or at least was very vocally supportive of the idea of ousting Claudine Gay as president of Harvard. But all of them fall short, perhaps out of a journalistic integrity, of saying the thing that I think, of saying the thing that is on my mind with all of this, which is boobs just rock. It's a fact. Yes, we are back to this Elon Musk tweet because I actually think this tweet tells us so much of what we need to know about the economy in 2024, but also specifically about this situation with Bill Ackman and this new fund right now, which is this. Bill Ackman makes for a very good anti-woke internet folk hero. And there is a lot of money to be made as an anti-woke internet folk hero. Let me break this down for you, and Elon Musk is the perfect example. Elon Musk is clearly an anti-woke activist, and he has an army of rabid fans. And these rabid fans love him in part because he is a once-in-a-generation entrepreneur who has built rockets and electric vehicles and brain chips, but also, and perhaps even more so, because he is a once-in-a-generation entrepreneur who has built rocket ships and electric vehicles and brain chips and also tweets things like boobs just rock, it's a fact. These two things are equally important in creating the folk hero, the idol for some that is Elon Musk, the folklore, I suppose, of who Elon Musk is. And his most rabid, most sycophantic base, they love him for these two things. The fact that he won't conform to how you're supposed to behave as a respectable CEO. The fact that he's going to push back on like traditional norms and like he won't be silenced by the man. Like that is a huge part of what is so appealing about Elon Musk. And it is why there is a whole army of people who will buy and do anything Elon Musk says to do or buy. They will buy literal shit from Elon Musk. People bought shit coins, things literally called shit coins, because Elon Musk tweeted about them. And there are people out there who buy and hold Tesla specifically because they love Elon Musk so much and they believe in him so much. And not because they have a super good understanding or any understanding of how to build rockets or if Elon's doing a good job at it, but because they love him ideologically. They love him politically. Buying Tesla becomes almost a political statement in and of itself. And this brings us back to Bill Ackman and the thing that I felt like we were dancing around but not really saying in any of these news articles about this new fund, which is the timing of this is quite convenient. Because Bill Ackman has not just spent the last 3 months tweeting about Claudine Gay or Israel Gaza or the mainstream media or whatever else. These are not isolated things. What he has done is spent the last 3 months transforming himself into an anti-woke hero. And conveniently has gained about 100,000 followers each month that he's been doing it. Now, if perhaps you are an internet lover and a friend of Musk and somebody who looks at what's going on and loves an anti-woke crusade and wants to give him your money, you can do that now. You can give him your money, or at least you will be able to once this fund goes live. And Bill Ackman definitely understands this. Take a look at this paragraph from the prospectus they put out about this new fund. So specifically here it says, quote, "The fund expects that it will have significant liquidity supported by its scale, name recognition, and the advisor's broad following." I believe the advisor that they're referencing here is Pershing Square Capital, the hedge fund, but of course it's really synonymous with Bill Ackman, who is its founder. "The advisor believes that the fund has the potential to be one of the largest, if not the largest, listed closed-end funds and expects that the advisor's brand name, profile, and broad retail following will drive substantial investor interest and liquidity in the secondary market." I want to read that last sentence again and explain it to you. "The advisor's brand name profile and broad retail following will drive substantial investor interest and liquidity in the secondary market." To translate this corporate regulatory filing speak into other terms, this means 4chan's gonna buy my shit and take it to the moon, bitch. I'm not even kidding though. That is basically what I hear them saying in just Wall Street terms. And what's interesting, what's important to note about this is in the prospectus. And the prospectus is a document that's used to solicit early investors, the initial investors who will buy this initial public offering. And this is kind of saying, and look, you'll be able to take this. If you buy into this initial public offering, you can take it and then dump it on the dumb money retailers later who like the fact that I'm tweeting a bunch of anti-woke shit about Harvard and other universities. That's sort of what this is saying. And look, of course, things are more complicated than that. Bill has been in this game for a very long time. He has a lot of followers. There are smart people who follow him for all sorts of reasons who maybe weren't in Pershing Square Holdings that would like to buy his stocks. Also, Bill has actually had a publicly traded fund available on European markets for a decade now. So this is not his first rodeo when it comes to having a publicly traded available fund. And so I'm sure this is something that has been in the works for some time. He's thought about this for some time. I'm just saying that he's chosen to announce it now, after 3 months of getting a lot of attention and a lot of tweeting and a lot of media attention and picking a lot of battles and waging a lot of wars. Now he's saying, hey, and if you want to give me money, you can do it. Of course, the timing on this could be that his hand was forced a little bit because it seems his investors may not love the tweeting he's been doing as much as some members of the general public maybe do. This tweet from Bill a couple weeks ago I found somewhat instructive. In this tweet, Bill says, I will pursue these societally important issues, including problems with how our media operates, the ideological takeover of our education system, discrimination in all forms, and free speech, to the end of the earth. It is the most important battle I have ever taken on. And for investors who are concerned about my time management, other than words and ideas, the fuel for my efforts comes from my investment success. Not that I wasn't incredibly motivated before, but if it is possible, I am even more motivated now. And yes, I am posting this while on the elliptical for better time management. I love that last part. I'm just waiting for him to like post a selfie of himself just like gnawing on some raw meat and like chugging an AG1 and being like, and then I'm getting in the cold plunge, because that would just like complete the arc of what this is. In any case, obviously what he is saying here is, I am so motivated now because of these other issues. I want to make more money than ever. And if you give me your money, I will make that more money for you. But he's also demonstrating clearly maybe there had been some concerns by investors that his time was not well spent picking these anti-woke battles or picking these battles with people like Claudine Gay, as opposed to picking battles with corporate CEOs, in ways that might benefit a stock price. But lucky for Bill, we live in 2024, which means that you actually now have a way to monetize the battles you are picking with the university. This battle that you're picking over here, you can now monetize that because you can galvanize the internet and get them to buy whatever the heck you're selling because you're picking the battle over here, even if it's not one that directly affects the stock price. And this is why I say this is the most 2024 shit of all time. And it works on multiple different levels. So first of all, you have politics and ideology taking over everything so that everything is politicized, including our financial markets. And then you also have financial markets taking over everything such that everything is financialized, including our politics. So what I'm saying here is you have people who are going to go out and buy Tesla and buy PSUS, Pershing Square's new ticker symbol, right? They're going to go out and buy those things specifically to support the political causes that these founders are taking on. And as a way to make a political statement about what these founders are saying on social media or elsewhere. And that way you're almost placing a bet on a certain ideology. You're placing a bet on a political point of view. I mean, look, I spent the last 2 years in crypto, and there was some crazy shit that people put their money into for sure, but that mentality is now seeping into all different parts of the market. And this is the new economy in so many ways. And there's another piece of this too that I find so interesting, and it brings us back to the fees. Because as I mentioned at the top, Bill Ackman has dropped his fees for this new fund that's going to be publicly traded. He's just taking the 2% fee, and even that is not going to be taken until after the first year. And this also feels like it is so fundamental to everything that is happening in the economy today being driven by millennials and Gen Z, which is that we're not going to spend our hard-earned money on your 20% management fees because we know that's bullshit. But we will definitely then, once you drop the fee, spend money because we liked your boob tweets. You know what I mean? Like, we are on the one hand so rational and smart, and we've learned from the mistakes of our parents. And on the other hand, we're like, fuck it, burn it to the ground and buying GameStop. I like the memes. I like the Tendi tweets. Like that is, and Elon Musk has mastered this beautifully. And I think Bill Ackman is his own flavor of it. Longer tweets, fewer memes, though I'm sure he'll get there. I'm sure he'll get to the memeing once it's a matter of pumping up the price of PSUS. And it's a totally different way to think about economic value. All right, folks, and that is our show for today. If you did enjoy this, please consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment below. I love hearing from y'all. And if you want to learn more about Bill Ackman and the crusades he has been on, you can check out a recent episode I did about that right here somewhere.